Okay, full disclosure. I'm so old I can't remember anything. It's so I brought this banner so I could put all. So if you see me going like this, I'm not really quite sure where I'm at in the presentation. Hi, you know, one of the great things about being here is that I get so many great ideas, and the last 5 people, I am so humbled by what you have shared this morning. It's just amazing, and I'm going to steal all of the ideas if you don't mind, except for yours, Tebow. I got all yours already. Stole those the last time. The other thing is that I feel reaffirmed because there's some things we're doing in Lansing that I'm hearing a lot of you already doing, and I'm sorry we're late for the dance, but we're really excited in Lansing. So here's my thing today. We were in a position in Lansing where we really needed to invest in our schools. We needed to pass a bond, as many of you already contemplate that mystery. But we had to ask ourselves a question. What is really the purpose of a public education? What is it? We've struggled with this for years as public educators. Are we here to create an educated citizenry to fully participate in a democratic process? Clearly not. Kidding. I'm north of M21, aren't I? I can't say those things. In our echo chamber down there in Lansing. Is that the purpose of education, public education, is to create an informed citizenry, to fully participate in the democratic process? Or, some might say, no, the purpose of a public education is to create a vehicle for social mobility so that people can come in at one particular socioeconomic level and leave later on in life at a different socioeconomic level to keep the capitalistic machine moving, consumer goods. And still others might say, no, the purpose of public education is to create a skilled labor force. And so we thought about this, and we thought, you know what? What if we could develop a bond proposal that actually says, in real intentional ways, we're going to retrofit all of our schools to create an informed citizenry that have social mobility characteristics and talents and a skilled labor force. We're just going to be really intentional about it. And so out of that conversation was born the Pathway Promise. And we decided that we would create, and we had one opportunity to do this, just one opportunity. You don't have many opportunities to pass a $120 million bond project. My hero, Teresa Neal, did that in Grand Rapids, a lot more than we spent. So it is not something that you take lightly, and you have to be serious. And was ours going to be about windows and doors and boilers and roofs and turf? No, it couldn't be. We had to have an educational plan that said that what we're doing with your $120 million that you're about to invest in our school district over the next 5 years is for the benefit of all kids, and people had to see that, okay? So we created the Lansing Pathway Promise. And basically what the Lansing Pathway Promise is all about, we have aligned all of our schools into 3 distinct opportunity-ready pathways, ending at high school. And we co-branded with the Promise Scholarship. We're one of 10 in Promise zones, and the Promise Scholarship is there at the end of graduation for all of our eligible students to attend Michigan State University, Lansing Community College, or my alma mater, Olivet College. And we're asking the Promise Authority Board to consider many more universities because we know that our kids don't want to just be one thing, and they don't want to just go to one school. And we want to make sure that our kids have multiple options after graduation. So we already climbed out of a multi-million-dollar operational deficit in Lansing 5 years ago, well, the last 5 years. We were in about $13 million operational deficit. We climbed out of that. Happy to say we're almost at 10% fund equity out of a $152 million budget. We reduced our footprint. We repurposed some schools. We sold some schools. Purchase agreements always contain caveats for student engagement in part of the purchase agreement. And we reconfigured the entire district around a pre-K3 child development cohort, learning to read, 4-6, reading to learn, and we put those 7th graders in our 3 high schools. We wanted them to be Vikings and Big Reds and Quakers right away, because we were looking at our data, and our data was telling us that we would start with 1,200 9th graders, and by the time they were in 10th grade, we had 800 of them. And then they go to 11th grade, and we had 600 of them. And they go to 12th grade, and we have 500 of them. And that's just not going to work. So we wanted to capture those minds and hearts early into those high school settings. So our 3 pathways, all of our schools are aligned to one of the 3 pathways, although there is intra-district choice, which I'll touch upon in a minute. One pathway is Everett High School pathway, and that is New Tech High and Visual and Performing Arts. And so if a student has a passion for new technologies and visual and performing arts, and can you imagine what you can do nowadays with technology and visual and performing arts? Avatar's like old school, but kids can do things like Avatar in an environment like that. Does everyone know what Avatar is? Ben, I'm pretty sure you do. No, but you talk to both sides. Right. Our Eastern pathway is International Baccalaureate and Biotechnologies. And just recently, we sold our old 1929 built Eastern High School to Sparrow Hospital System for $2.5 million. And part of that purchase agreement was the guarantee that Sparrow would provide technical assistance, mentorship, internships, and professional learning in the area of biotechnologies for our students. The third pathway is the Sexton pathway, and that's the STEM, STEAM, advanced manufacturing. Geez, in Lansing, where would they be able to do that kind of work? And skilled trades. So those are our 3 pathways in Lansing, and we're really delighted to be able to offer that to our students. We have intra-district choice this year for the first time, which means we don't care where you live in the city of Lansing, we're going to get you to the school you want to go to. You know why? Because we want you to pick us. We don't want you to pick the neighboring school district. We want you to pick our school district, and we want to give you all the choices you can, and we'll get you there. And that, by the way, happens to be our theme. Dream big, we'll get you there. Thank you so much.